Okay. All right. We should be streaming now. I am here to do the show, and for once, I'm starting it without Zach. I'm the one. Hold on. Sorry. I'm here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the WarPod. Well, we haven't done a show in like 3 weeks. So I'm here now, and that's what's important, right? So, hi. Oh boy. So anyway, Zach's not here yet. So he made a big goof. He made a huge goof in trying to get here to my domicile. I'm gonna make sure that I'm actually streaming here. Yes, okay, I am. All right, we're good. And I do have all the stuff pulled up here, so if you guys want to chat, before the show, chat about stuff that's going on. If you want to talk about if you have a in-game, Avengers Endgame theory that you want to talk about, we can do that. We can do that before Zach gets here. Because that is one of the topics for today, as you may have seen. Just want to make sure everything is running properly here on the old Streameroo. Yep, okay. I got the Facebook Live, cool. Got the Twitch, cool. Now we just gotta verify that YouTube is up and running like it should be, and then we'll be good to go. Here we go. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that the picture is not of... Well, here, let me make sure the audio works. Here we go. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that the picture is not of... Sorry about the dead air. Okay, sorry. So we gotta find a good picture. If you're watching on YouTube, it just has the picture of Aquaman, which is, I think, is the last show we did, and that's not right. That's not correct. Since it's just me and you, let's talk about some stuff where I can talk at you, like what I've been playing, maybe, or watching. Ah, that's better. That's better. I'm going to talk about an old show that I finally got around to watching. I actually watched True Detective, just the first season so far. That's what I actually was watching, and it is actually really, really good. And a lot of you probably already know that. If you don't know that, now you do. And I definitely recommend it. It's got... what's his name? Matthew McConaughey. I knew I'd get it. It's got Matthew McConaughey and that guy from from The Thing. I forget his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the show is really good. It's actually got I like the setting. I like what they did with it. It's got a real kind of macabre type of, a real darkness to it. Definitely McConaughey's character has a lot of edge to him. And if you like one of those, kind of those cop drama types, that's, what I like about it, it's not like a standard kind of cop drama thing. It's like a really good detective story. Like it's high end drama. It's really good. And it's only eight episodes, about an hour each, which is good. I think that's the right length as far as the length of the actual episodes and the length of the actual series. 8 episodes, good, solid. That's what all the Marvel superhero shows that recently got canceled, like all of them would be better if they were 8 episodes long. Every single one of them. There's a lot of filler episodes in those. And that's one of the reasons I never actually went back. I got 10 minutes into the second season of Iron Fist. for whatever reason, I just couldn't get back into it. Like, I felt so shafted by the first season. I really didn't want to give the second one a chance. You'll also notice some of the we actually got a slideshow going on behind me. If you're watching the stream, if you're watching the live, this probably won't be on the edited and polished episode we put out. And I did decide something recently, that if you are a fan of the show or our channels or anything, we came to a decision because it seems weird to put these out, stream them on all the platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, which we are doing now, to do that and then put the full streamed video, like turn it on so people could watch it any time, and put that on both YouTube channels, the Warlocks and the Quite Contrary. So I came up with a system. So what we're going to do is we're going to put just the streamed versions of these will go on. I think they're going to go on the Warlocks channel. I think that's accurate. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think we're going to put there's the streamed versions on Quite Contrary. We're just going to stream them on Quite Contrary, and then what we'll do is when we edit them down, we'll put those on the Warlocks channel, and then we're going to take just the clips. Like if you don't want to sit through an hour plus of an episode of something like the WarPod, like we do, what we're going to do is actually cut up the clips individually. And I started doing this on the last episode. So if you just want to hear us talk about Aquaman, then there'll be a video just for Aquaman. Or in this case, if you just want to listen to or watch the in-game section of the show, that'll be available just as that little clip. And that's good for SEO stuff and visibility for the channel as well. So it's actually a good thing for us to do. What was I talking about before that rant? I don't remember. What else happened? Oh, that's right. I was going to talk about this thing behind me. So that this slideshow going on, that is Keanu Reeves in his recent flick, Replicas. And you may have seen like a trailer once or twice. They didn't put it out and air it that often for good reason, because it does look like crap, and it was crap. And I saw it in theaters on purpose. Because I am a glutton for punishment like that. I don't know. I actually went to the theater with Frank, and we were sitting there at this little kiosk because this when you have a kiosk and you select. There's no you don't talk to humans anymore. That's part of our society. We're trying to weed that out to become reliant on the computers, and they will control us all. But we were sitting there at the kiosk. We're trying to select our movie, and I was really having a hard time because the movie I can't remember what movie we were going to go see, but they didn't have it. Like they had it on their website. Their website said that they had that movie we wanted to go see, and it wasn't there. And I was like, "What the hell's up with this?" And let me see if anyone's talking to me right now. Yeah, so I said, what the hell is up with this? And I was like, why is this movie not here? So we had to make a decision. We could leave, or we could watch a different movie. And there's some movies out. There was some movies out I wanted to watch. I hadn't seen Spider-Verse yet, but someone told me I probably wouldn't like it just because of my personal taste in movies, not because it's bad. There's no way that it's that bad. I mean, everyone seems to love it. But the problem was we couldn't find a movie we really wanted to see in theaters. Like there were some movies where like, we could watch that after it leaves theaters. There's no reason to see it in the theaters. It's not like a big screen kind of affair. Like that's the comment we had for some of those. And so anyway, I really took my time trying to figure out what movie I wanted to go see, and I finally said, you know what, I do want to see Replicas. I know it's bad. I know that it's going to be completely terrible, but I want to see it. And so I did. Me and Frank saw that, and it was exactly what you'd expect it to be. It was terrible, but it was one of those movies. I actually had a lot of fun watching it, even though it was bad. I really did. I mean, it's it just doesn't make any sense, and I just can't. I just don't understand how this day and age, like, you get a Keanu Reeves in a movie like that, and the graphics are that just terrible, like not good, not good in the slightest. Sorry, I'm trying to edit all this stuff while talking to you. But no, Replicas is just the absolute worst. Nobody in their right mind would seriously look you in the face and say, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And I know you're probably arguing, you're probably thinking, no, that's not, there's no way that's true. Oh, sorry. You're probably, no way that's true, because there's weirdos that like every single movie out there. Like, I don't know if you guys watch or listen to How Did This Get Made? With Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas. It's their podcast that we've talked about it. I've talked about it before, where it's a podcast where they actually watch bad movies and they talk about them. And that one in particular, like this would be a perfect. I meant to actually send it to Paul Scheer, and I don't know if he would actually see my tweet at him. But I meant to actually recommend it, because if he's not aware of that movie, someone else has got to have told him. Someone else has got to have told him that movie exists. How do you spell Scheer? There it is. Scheer. If you were curious out there. I think Zach is here because I can hear my dog running to the door, which is great because I'm actually running out of stuff to talk about. I mean, I probably have 1,000 things I could talk about, and I probably have, right as soon as right before this podcast, I was probably thinking of things, or the show, thinking of things that I could talk to you about by myself. And you know what? When someone puts a camera in your face, it just goes away. So hopefully Zach will rescue me, because this has been a really boring show so far. Yes, Zach?
What are you doing?
I'm doing the show.
The show?
Yeah.
How long have you been on the air?
7:45 is when I scheduled it. I told everybody on the social media sphere that the show was going to start at 7:45.
I guess we don't need my camera then.
No, it's not. It's not necessary.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's a question.
This one's not on yet.
Huh?
The big one's not on yet, but it is somewhat set up.
Right, but it'd be a whole to do to like change the live feed. The live. Okay. Well, good thing I'm here. Why are you in a beanie?
I wanted to wear a hat, and I said, you know what, I kind of like my Power Rangers beanie, so I'm gonna wear that.
That's a fun anecdote.
Yeah, isn't it?
Okay, so we're live.
Yeah.
Everybody, you are on week 3 of Beard Watch. Because they're growing my facial hair.
Oh. So it's like, you started your beard growing after the last time we recorded.
Yes.
So that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Is this normal? Is this too little? Is this too much? Is this right?
It's fine.
Is it?
I mean, you gotta shave the neck beard at some point.
No, it's part of me now.
Are you doing the whole thing?
Yeah. Are you changing the background dynamically, or did you
No,
put it on a
it's on a what you call that?
a slideshow?
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Okay. Ooh, our frame is low. Frame's just a little low. I'm gonna change it.
You can fuck with it.
Just a little bit.
While you're over there, you can get this thing going.
Yeah. But hi, America. Is anybody watching yet?
Oh, they can't hear you very well in the stream because you don't have your mic.
Oh yeah. They can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you're there. I got 2 mics. They can hear me twice.
Here, sit up straight.
This is me sitting up straight.
We don't want any distracting lack of beanie.
I was telling them that I was running out of stuff to talk to them about by myself. It was real boring. I was glad you were here.
I took a weird way here.
Yeah.
Because any Houston drivers know sometimes you get on I-10 when you mean 610.
Sure,
that'll happen to you.
It happens all the time.
And my phone's broken in this weird way that my GPS doesn't actually know where I am.
That's not good.
So I have to turn it on and then I need to turn it on and then look through the directional steps that I take and figure out which one's a road anywhere near
Hopefully
me.
you didn't have to do that after I gave you the address because you had someone in the car with you who could have helped you.
The thing is that because it is the way it is, reading my GPS is an art. And
okay, now you get to entertain the people just for a minute because our volume, I boosted it through the computer and it sounds a little rough.
okay.
So there's like a background noise.
So tonight on the WarPod,
You have no idea.
we are going to be talking about Ed Begley Jr., Cuba Gooding Jr.,
All the juniors.
and Junior Louis Dreyfus. I forgot Robert Downey's first and last name. I couldn't think of it right off the cuff. But we made it there, and you got to see a little bit behind the scenes, because that's how we do on the WarPod. Johnny Dim, actually, you're not going to hear him impressed that I know who Ed Begley Jr. is off the top of my head and have a favorite moment. If I was going to try to remind everybody of who Ed Begley Jr. is by saying his most...
Did you turn the other one on?
Famous thing? No, I was busy. If I was Ed Begley Jr.'s most famous moment, maybe he played the dad in Hocus Pocus.
What?
Okay. In Arrested Development, he plays the guy who can't grow hair. And so he has...
that's who that is?
Yeah, he has artificial eyebrows, and they do a lot of gags with the eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's Ed Begley Jr.
He's the head of the competitor
Yes.
of the Bluths.
And my favorite Ed Begley Jr. moment has got to be the Cinco cell phone from Tim and Eric.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's just an endorsement, and he's playing himself. It's a celebrity endorsement for the Cinco cell phone because Cinco is their brand that has just a bunch of useless products. And the Cinco...
Acme.
Yeah, exactly. And like Acme. And the Cinco cell phone, it's like supposed to be like way pared down for the technologically impaired. Like it only has one button.
Yeah.
Like he's explaining how to make a call. He's like, here, let me make a call. 5, boop, 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 boop. 2, boop, boop. 0. 0's no.
That is great.
With enough battery life for almost one entire call. And the best part of this, it doesn't receive calls. It only calls out. No more being bothered at home. No more hassle.
So convenient.
The battery pack is capable of generating immense amount of heat, but thankfully at no additional charge to you, it comes with the Cinco cooling gel. Like it's just a burn salve because it's going to hurt you.
One of those might be good right now if you live in Indianapolis.
Is there?
It's really cold. It's a polar something.
It's a polar vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're feeling the effects of the polar vortex.
Right. It's colder there than it is in Anchorage, Alaska, right now.
Yeah. But Johnny.
But I have the real deal.
Yeah, what we're actually talking about.
Yes.
I was happy where we were.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was more than happy talking about Ed Begley Jr. Would you like to recount some of your favorite episodes of the Disney Channel sitcom Step by Step?
I don't.
Okay. What do you got? What's your thing?
Step by step, day by day.
Day by day.
Something,
Fresh
something.
start over in a different kind of way.
Is your mic on? I just want to verify that before we
My mic
continue.
is still on. I can see my level.
Okay.
Okay. We make it better second time around.
All right. We got only like 3 rough topics, so we can be off the rails a little bit.
Okay.
So that just so you know, that's the wiggle room we've got.
All right.
But what got people here? Wait, do you want a proper intro to the show? We probably should, because
We
we're
probably
going to
should.
have a version of this that's going to be neat.
That's right. So this is for you watching live. That was all behind the curtain nonsense. And
Lucky you.
And now we are going to start the show proper. For those of you who haven't watched the show before, this is us filming the actual podcast, which we do for video distribution. The recorded edited audio also goes out to Apple iTunes. So like that.
Say edited audio again.
Edited audio again.
Nice.
Why?
I like that we're hearing the word edited.
Oh.
Edited. How many D's are there?
Edited again.
You're doing it well. It's just funny.
One.
Right, there is only one, but there's
Edited again.
right, but the T and the D, it's a fun thing.
Okay.
Just for me.
All right. So now we're going to start the show proper. Corncob pipe and a button-nose America. I'm Zach Nanimus.
I'm Johnny Dim.
And tonight on the WarPod, we are... Oh, wait, which WarPod? This is 105.
105.
No, number 105. If you missed 102 through 103, that's because we didn't distribute them.
What? Yeah, fun fact. I actually deleted some of them.
Okay. Tonight on the WarPod, we are going to be talking about...
Endgame.
And...
Replicas.
And...
What we've been watching / playing.
Wow. One of the mainline topics
Yeah.
is just stuff about us.
Right.
Okay.
People love it.
Who said that? Who told you that? Who lied to you?
You know, just some of the people. You know, trust me, I got that little social media right here. I talk to the people. You deal with...
So there's a record.
Uh-huh.
All right. I deal with refining my instrument as a performer, presenter, and improviser.
Right.
As you well know, because I recently won a major award for acting.
He did. I was there. Actually, I have a picture, and I'm going to share it with them.
Good. Okay.
I'll put it behind us.
So, Johnny Dim, I would like to start the show the way we always start the show. Johnny, what you been playing / watching?
Okay, well, the people who were catching the stream earlier...
Already know.
Right.
Oh, no.
Well, some of it. Just some of it.
Okay.
But, okay, I've been watching something I've been meaning to get around to. It's been on the list. And I finally got around to watching it. I don't even remember what year this came out. True Detective.
Oh.
I think I recommended this to you the other day.
Yeah, it's
McConaughey and...
McConaughey.
Whatever. It's McConaughey.
Okay.
And the other guy.
Vince Vaughn.
No.
Yes.
No, Vince Vaughn's in the other season. I couldn't remember his name earlier. It's is it
Clay
Harry?
Aiken.
Harry something? He's baldish. He's known for smoking a lot of pot.
Where is Harry Truman? Wait, what's up with his hair?
He's like pretty much bald.
He's bald. He smokes a lot of pot,
Yeah.
and his name is Harry.
I thought it was Harry.
Why would a bald man?
That's not right.
Why would a bald man have the name Harry?
And he was in...
What kind of irony is that? Just go by your full name, Harrence.
I don't think that's his real name. That's just the name that comes to mind when I think about him. This is just a pain in the ass. We don't even have to remember this guy's name. But he's very good in the show.
Joe Rogan?
No.
That's a real
He's also known for being a very good actor.
That's an ironic name, too, because he sounds like Joe Rogan. You could do
Yeah.
no. It's been a while since the Man Show.
What was the name? He was in that movie where he was a killer
Queen?
in the 90s. And it doesn't matter.
No. Sorry, I have this thing I always check my text messages while on the show because sometimes people tell us that the live thing isn't going well.
Hopefully this is technical. Woody Harrelson. I almost said Woody Allen.
I don't think of him as bald.
He's baldish.
Yeah. Paul Scheer.
I was trying
That's
to
who you're thinking of. The star of White Men Can't Jump, Paul Scheer.
No, I was trying to look up how to spell his name earlier so I could follow him on Twitter.
Okay.
Because I was going to tell him about our other topic, replicas.
Do you talk to Paul Scheer a lot?
No, I don't. That's why I needed his Twitter handle.
Okay. I've been getting into illustration, and I want to move over to digital because that's how illustration actually gets done nowadays. And I've been meaning to tweet Aaron Hansen. So if anybody wants to tweet Aaron Hansen for me, feel free. You can say anything you want. He's a cool guy.
Aaron Hansen?
Yeah.
Matt Crow is talking to us.
Matt Crow!
And he will talk about his comments more when we get to it, but he commented on Replicas.
Okay. All right. So, Johnny, you've been watching True Detective.
Yeah. No, I just want to say it's a fantastic show.
You haven't been watching. You haven't seen it.
No, I did.
But this is your endorsement.
No, I finally got around to watching it like just last weekend, and me and Frank watched all the episodes in 2 days. There's 8, and they're all about an hour each.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't put it down. Like it's a very, very good show.
Mm-hmm.
Very compelling.
Okay.
Great. The title's very accurate. It's a true detective show.
Okay. With True Detective, I always assumed that it was a documentary about real detectives.
That's what I thought too, and it's not.
And having caught a couple of episodes of the second season, it's not.
No, but they did try. They did. I remember because I always watched because it's an HBO show, and they always have on HBO shows like the people that were instrumental in creating the thing. Usually, it's the person, the main brainchild, whatever you would say.
Showrunner.
Yeah, or writer or whatever. But there's 2 guys that they always have. Most HBO shows, they have a little thing at the end after the show is over, after the credits, where they talk about the show, that episode, and you get some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah,
and
I never watched that.
I always do, and you get some insight.
Every episode of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, actually, I have not done it for.
That was like 4 hours of your life. Oh, okay.
I have not done it for Game of Thrones, but I did it for every other HBO show I've seen. But anyway, they made some strides to actually make this somewhat realistic of a show. Like, it seems...
No, they didn't.
In the first season. I can only speak for the first season.
Okay, because the second season, they straight up have, like, a Mission Impossible style heist.
Yeah. People have said that the second season is not as good.
Okay.
So I don't know. And I think it may be made by other people. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, I think it's great.
Tell me this. Are half the episodes about filing paperwork?
No, but they do some accurate stuff with the timeline. Like, they say, like, they're working on a case for, like, 3 weeks. And nothing's really happened, and that's normal.
Yeah.
And actually, what they make a point to bring that out in the forefront because someone's trying to take the case from them, and they're like, "It's only 3 weeks old. Why would you be trying to take the case from us? Like, this is normal for us to take this long."
Right.
And all this kind of stuff. So.
But I grew up on Columbo, and if you don't finish it in an afternoon,
right,
you should seek employment elsewhere.
That's true. That's true. You're also a fan of Dick Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where if you have a suspect, you should probably just spray him down with a Thompson submachine gun and just be done with it.
Yeah. Worry about the stuff later.
Yeah.
And I think if you kill the guy, you don't have to file paperwork.
Oh, have you read Dick Tracy 3 yet? From IDW?
No, I just have the 2 that I gave you.
Oh my. There's this little, and it's not ruining too much, but there's this little slice of kind of like the weird cultural divide that Dick Tracy embraces, even though it's a modern comic now with smartphones and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Dick Tracy goes and he's gonna shake down a crooked cop or somebody he believes to be a crooked cop, and he's not giving him the time of day, and Tracy's done with him. So Tracy mouths off to him, and then the guy just hits him on the jaw, and it's like a patrolman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think Dick Tracy is the chief sergeant.
Okay.
And Dick Tracy just gets up and then hits him in the stomach, and like that was just part of the exchange. They just both wanted to let one another know that if they were going to continue to interact with one another, they were probably just going to hit each other.
And then business as usual after.
Yeah, it wasn't a fight. It was just, we both wanted to hit.
Right. It's a unique way of handshake.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was watching.
Uh-huh.
And I've still been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Like a fool! Like a fool!
It's a long game.
Yeah, because it's padding, mostly.
Yeah.
How many side quests have you gone on to make sure to like,
I've been like hand picking side
take
quests.
memory selfies with exotic birds in the Greek Isles?
Not that many. But I've been talking about that for the last 3 episodes, so we don't need to go into that anymore.
Okay.
What have you been watching?
If we want to talk about cop shows, I'm all caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
I keep getting recommended to watch that.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
As a writer, I would say that Captain Holt He holds, and this is going to feel a little controversial.
Ooh.
Okay, a little controversial.
Ooh. I like it.
I would say that Captain Holt probably represents like a high water mark for writing homosexual characters.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the sergeant?
Yeah. No, not the sergeant.
Or the top guy?
captain.
Yeah, I don't know all the ranks and where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the guy that runs the department.
Yeah, he's always in a uniform.
Bald guy,
Yeah.
black guy. I did not know that he was a homosexual character.
And I think that's the interesting thing about the character is that some people like they and I'm not going to get too far into one way or the other about it,
Mhm.
but some people are like, oh, the homosexual character is just like an inclusionary character and like they're just there to be gay.
Mhm.
And then other people are like, oh, we have this gay character, but you just said they're gay and they never act gay. And so like those two
Right.
arguments butt heads and it's kind of ugly.
Right.
But like Captain Holt is perfect because him being gay is part of his character, but it's one part of his character.
Yeah.
You know, he's nice, well-rounded. It's not offensive in either way because he's just a really well-written character.
Yeah, so my exposure to that show, I've seen 1 or 2 episodes, but I also watched recently I think I watched it twice. It was a compilation of him saying insults to lunch.
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 I knew it rhymed with lunch.
Yeah.
But that
Lunchtime is over.
those clips alone are funny as hell.
Yeah.
So I probably will eventually watch.
Madeline Lunch. That's her name.
Yeah. that was good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
You play anything good?
I've been revisiting the classics, and I recently cracked back open Donkey Kong Country #1.
For this SNES?
Yeah, because I beat Mario World as I set out to do.
The first one?
Yeah.
Like the NES one?
No, the SNES.
SNES. Oh,
Mario World.
Super Mario World.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good one.
Hey, let me know right now. Did I get I feel like I didn't get too controversial with the gay thing. I just said that I like a gay character.
No, and you said you were doing it from the lens of being a writer.
Yeah.
You know, so you can appreciate how.
I probably should air out my insecurities on the live. Because it's so. Okay. Fine. I'll throw out a disclaimer because it's so easy to offend people. I just want to say write however you want and live however you want to live. I just really like the Captain Holt character, and I like to see characters be well-rounded and not just one thing.
Sure. Yeah, it's a well-written character.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Because that dude is gay. He's super gay. He's married to a man named Kevin Costner.
Huh.
It just happens to be his name.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I like that. Do they say his name before you see the character? Kevin Costner?
Yeah, but nobody thinks that it's Kevin Costner.
Oh, that's funny.
They just make fun of the fact that his name's Kevin Costner. Okay.
But you guys are just an update for everyone who's watching the stream. You can communicate with us. I am on the 1s and 2s. That's not what that means.
Not just Josh Crow. Yes, Josh, I know that Johnny got your name wrong earlier.
I did?
Yeah, you called him Matt Crow.
No, that's a completely different person.
Oh!
There's a Matt Crow.
We got a new Crow! We got new Crow! We got new Crow!
He's an old friend of mine. We actually used to be coworkers a long time ago.
Oh, boy. All right. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, Janny Dorm. What is reconnaissance?
Replicas.
What is that? Oh wait, it's the bad. It's Keanu movie.
I briefly brought it up when I saw you the other day.
Okay.
This is my favorite movie of 2018.
And because you watched a bad movie,
yeah,
and I didn't,
yeah,
we get to play my favorite game of 2019.
Do it.
Zachary guesses the predictable plot.
Do it.
Okay.
Did you ever see the trailer?
Nothing.
Oh man, I kind of want you to see it.
It's called Replicas,
Okay.
and that Keanu's. Okay, the thing about modern trailers is that they give everything away. Everything.
This one they had to be a little cryptic because it was so bad. They couldn't reveal everything. But yeah, go for it. Just try it. You know the title, and you know Keanu Reeves is in it.
Okay, and I saw a picture with him with like a surgical mask,
God.
like one of those.
Yes.
Like when you're sawing bone and there's going to be detritus coming back at you. The one of those like you've probably seen it behind me at one point.
Yeah, yeah. It'll pop up again soon.
Why are they different? Oh, because that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Replicas is a movie about
So far, you're right.
Keanu Reeves, and his job is that he is a criminal,
Okay.
and he's the kind of criminal that is likely to steal individuals and then perform surgery on them, and then a form of psychotherapy to convince them that they're a different person. And he does this with a lot of people to make an army of himself. Now that he now that he has replicas of Keanu Reeves, he can then go out and commit crimes, and he has the perfect alibi because he's also an internet celebrity that does live stream. And so the day he robs the bank, he's also on Twitch, like teaching everybody how to make like their own ranch salad dressing. And so like it's perfect alibi. He can't be there because he was on Twitch. But it all goes awry when when one of the replicas was married to a blind woman, and she knows him by his smell. And so she comes up and she's like, Gerald! Because if you're blind, you're automatically 98.
How long are you? Do you want me to stop you?
No, I'm almost done.
All right.
Okay, and that's when he remembers, he realizes everything that's been done to him. He rips off his Keanu face, and it's when he realizes it was surgery, a bad idea. That's his only face, puts it back on. And he fights, and it's Keanu versus Keanu.
Right.
And he kills the real Keanu, and Keanu's dead, and no more crime. That's the movie.
As many times as we've kind of played this game, I don't think you've been more wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's the movie?
Okay, the synopsis real quick.
All right.
Keanu Reeves is a smart scientist.
Okay.
He's the best. He's the best at what he does.
And what he does is killing people?
No.
You're describing the Wolverine tagline.
He's kind of good at it in this movie.
All right.
So good at he does it by accident.
What is this not doing?
I don't press it.
Okay.
I don't want a bunch of bandwidth issues.
Okay.
But it is working, just so you know, because it's not
All
working. Okay, so Keanu Reeves. Okay, I don't remember what country they're in, but you can tell that they're in some type of like South American country, something, or I don't know, the Bahamas or something. They don't really tell you where they are. It's a weird set piece.
Probably just shot in the Florida Keys.
Right.
Okay.
And he's a smart scientist, and he's really good at.
I like that.
And he's really his whole shtick. He's working for this company that is trying to make what they do. What you learn early on is they take fresh bodies that have been dead, right? Usually soldiers, and they take them, they hook them up, and they try to put their consciousness into a robot.
After the brain's already dead?
They want it to be like freshly dead.
Okay.
Yeah, so they try to get them fresh.
All right.
And they bring the consciousness into a robot, and it never works. In the beginning, you see a guy. He realizes he has his brain is basically rejecting the machine, and he goes crazy, and then they have to shut it off. So what he ends up doing, he's got a lot of pressure on him to make this work.
I imagine.
Yeah, and
it would be a technological and scientific achievement beyond anything anybody has ever done ever to reconstitute the living. Why wouldn't it happen in the course of 3 months?
Right. But the thing is, the pressure is not from the government or anything like that. It's not a government contract. It's a private industry.
That's what I was going to say.
And anyway, so then what happens is he has a family. He has a daughter and a son and a wife, and they're going to go on a fishing trip.
What?
Because it's what's happening. And
no family fishing trip montage in the middle of this.
No, they never get there. Oh yeah, by the way,
it's a smoke screen.
Keanu Reeves, I don't feel bad for because he's in a lot of bad movies and he's doing just fine.
Yeah.
But rising star Thomas Middleditch plays his best friend.
Are you making fun of
No,
somebody
that's
else?
his name.
Thomas Middleditch?
That's his name.
That sounds like a dig on, like, Thomas Middleton.
Do you know who this is?
No.
You know it's... I spelled it bad. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a rising star in comedies, and he's a really good improver.
The young Tom Kenny.
Yeah, he's great.
I have been practicing my Iceman impersonation.
Okay. But he plays his best friend. I feel bad for him because this is such a terrible movie. It's not good for his career. But anyway, so he's gonna let Keanu Reeves borrow his boat. So his family's out and they're going to the boat, but it's rainy and stormy, and so they crash and they all die.
No.
Except for Keanu.
No.
Who then, this is my favorite part. He lays all their bodies out and plays Tetris with them. He lays them out in such a weird way on the beach. Here's the thing, though.
Wait, when you say Tetris, is that hyperbolic or is that...
No, he's not really playing Tetris,
just,
but he lays them off.
He didn't just do shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But he gets them all out there, and his bright idea is, let's not tell anybody. Let's not report this to the police. Let's get Thomas Middleditch, your friend who works at the brain lab thing. Let's get him. Let's go and clone them. The master plan is to clone them and then put their consciousness into a fresh clone.
Instead of a robot.
Right.
Because that'll work better.
Right. And so they do that. And then he realizes his big aha moment is that the robot thing isn't working because you have to trick the brain into thinking that the robot body is its body because it's rejecting the foreign parts.
That's not that bad.
That concept isn't bad. There's a lot of stuff I feel like even maybe the script isn't that bad. The execution of this movie is fucking terrible.
The whole family fishing.
You knew what was going to happen the whole time. You're like, they're going to crash and die. They're going to crash and die.
It's just like a weird Deus Ex Machina. How are we going to kill off the whole family?
Right.
Oh, the fishing trip.
Fishing trip. They're going to drive in a Jeep and just die because it's rainy and stormy.
Now, quick fix for that would have been that Keanu always knew that the weather was going to turn, and he did this on purpose. And like he thought that the only way that he could actually deliver on this project was if he had the pressure of bringing his family back to life.
Right. Okay, where this movie kind of falls flat is the cheese. Okay, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So what he does is he
wine and cheese pairing scene with his uncle, who also dies,
and he has
is
to
also a robot
and also a clone. Excuse me. So anyway, he does this all in secret. He actually gets Thomas Middleditch's character helps him bring all the equipment necessary to grow these clones in their basement, and they do all this behind the company's back.
If they can grow bodies that quickly, why do they need the bringing back soldiers back from the dead project?
That's a great question. And the only way I can answer is that we find out towards the end that the company's the bad guy because it's actually a military contract company, and they're trying to make robot soldiers.
Right. So, but
robot soldiers are more resilient than human soldiers or cloned soldiers.
If they can literally make bipedal robots that are agile enough to run across rocky terrain and dexterous enough to handle weaponry, why not just make them drones? And
good question.
Warfare would be a video game.
Good question. There's a lot of issues with this movie.
Okay.
So he successfully... Oh, this is the stupidest scene. It's completely... I don't even know why they kept it in. So they were worried because they had to have an uninterrupted power supply to each one of these pods that are growing the clones, right? So they make it a point to make a battery backup. So you know what he does? He spends all night stealing car batteries out of his neighbor's cars to make a backup battery.
This is one of those movies.
It's so stupid.
This is one of those movies where they must have got a homeowners association. There's one family with some waterfront property, and they're like, "Oh, we got the boat."
Oh my god. So anyway, most of the movie is him doing all this stuff behind the company's back and tricking his cloned wife and kids into thinking that they're not clones. And his
Are there a lot of clues in the clone body? Like, are they missing special scars and stuff?
I'm trying to remember what it was. No.
How do you shut down?
He would drug them.
Oh, that's not shutting down.
That's how he would shut them down. It's a hard reboot.
Oh no, I have to find your power switch.
But okay, I remember what it was.
In this heroin.
So that's what he was doing. He was keeping them under with drugs when he needed them to stay under. So when he shoot them up, then what he would do is he would get the backup of their brains, and then he would make fine adjustments
which
with
is all on what?
Their USB drives are
A tremendous USB drive.
yeah, they're like
supercomputer of USB drives.
they're like briefcases.
Okay. That's fine.
And he would load those up and he would make edits. He would programming edits.
Wow.
And then he would put it back.
So I'm guessing that they all go completely insane by the end of it.
No, they live fucking happily ever after. That's the weird shit about this fucking movie. And you know what? You know what he does? He's able to copy...
Wait, no. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, tell me at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Oh, shit, my mic.
There's a family weenie roast, and it's a montage to Smash Mouth's cover of
I need to check
I'm a
signals.
Believer.
No.
No, that's not it.
So what he does, I don't remember why, but he decides to clone. He didn't clone himself, but he figures out the mystery of why he can't put the consciousness inside robots. So he puts his own consciousness in the robot, and then that robot's their ally now. He's a good guy because he's just a copy of him that knows he's a robot.
Ally to what? There's no bad guy in this.
Yeah, the company. The company ends up coming for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I'm jumping ahead.
is he super strong?
Yeah, it's a robot.
So, what he did was he took the good robot us's concept from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
I guess so.
To finish off the movie.
Yeah, so
because
here's the best part.
He accidentally spent the entire movie using this secret government contract project to make an upper middle class family, and realized he might not be loaded for bear. We have a thing. We have to.
Sorry, stream. This is something we have to do every once.
Yeah. We went 30 minutes.
All right.
So I'm gonna roll it back a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, what he did is he took the good robot us's concept from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he spent the entire time using this high technology to create an upper middle class family, and realized he might not.
And they actually, when I say they live happily ever after, yeah, they're actually living on the run because the company's going to keep coming for them, apparently.
Like the end of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
So a good movie. So it's a good movie.
I guess.
Okay.
But also, because he put his consciousness in that robot, now what they do is that robot set up shop in the United Emirates.
You're about to reveal that I'm crazy right about everything, by the way.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Okay, go on.
He sets up shop in the United Emirates, and he sells this cloning process to old rich people so that they can live forever.
Why?
I don't know. I assume that then the robot is funneling that money to the family so they can stay on the run and live.
Why not just replicate the family and like make really, really basic ones that only know how to run?
Right. Or
Away from
sacrifice one set of clones.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, all they know is how to run away.
Right.
And so they
get
company
caught,
catches
yeah.
up and kills them. And
yeah, and then the rest of them, the copies live or whatever. You know what? This movie, I wish we were talking about this when it was more fresh on my mind, because I had so many things to say about this movie and I forgot half of them. But this movie is incredibly bad, but it's so fun to watch.
I can't imagine enjoying one moment of it.
One of the things that perplexed me was how little time and money was spent on the CG, like the graphics.
I could do this movie without CG.
You wouldn't need it at all.
Yeah.
But they felt they had to when the robot came alive and haywired, and it looks like straight out of like 2002.
So like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, that level.
No, less attention to detail. like not that big of a budget.
Okay.
Like middle of the road budget. Like I remember seeing similar stuff in the late 90s. Like that when that was the peak of it.
If you could
Come with the movie?
Yeah, a parable. Not a parable, a foil to it. You're going to compare it to anything.
I'm trying to remember what were the really bad ones. There was a lot of them I felt like kind of like how Aliens when they use CG instead of the real stuff. They did that a couple times, didn't they? One of the Aliens movies? Maybe one of the later ones?
I've only ever seen the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched all 4.
Today.
Not long ago for the first time. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that. Okay, you want to talk about Alien?
We can. I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those that's. I get why people like it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about Alien next time because it took us a long time to get through. Like, it took us 30 minutes to get through the first 2 things, and it's time to talk about Endgame, brother.
So you're gonna need to be quick on your feet on this one. I wish I would have warned you about this one.
No, it's better not to have.
I know, but what I want to do is I don't know if you've noticed this, but they have.
Yes, I've noticed the smell.
That window.
I think
is rattling.
I think there's a storm blowing.
It could be the train. It could be the whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like it's done.
What?
So there.
What?
I don't know if you've noticed.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know if you've noticed, but there have been a lot of Avengers for Endgame theories, fan theories that keep popping up.
No, I have not.
Okay. Because your finger's not on the pulse of. But there's been a few. There has been a few. And so what I want to do now... I think
I may have watched one YouTube video.
I've seen the headlines, but I refuse to watch them. But there's been a few different ones that have popped up.
Okay.
What I want you to do...
Okay.
And I'm going to do this too.
Uh-huh.
So I think we should come up with our own Avengers 4 in-game fan theories.
Okay, I kind of already have part of one.
Go for it.
Well, okay. So at the end of... it's really more of an observation to talk about... And I think if I remember correctly from the YouTube video that I watched, they agreed with me on this, and it's actually a refined point from something that my father observed when he watched Endgame, and because Doctor Strange fought Thanos and then was busy, and then once he was on the ropes, he finally let loose the time stone. And immediately my dad was like, he knows the thing. Thanos doesn't have the real time stone.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the first ones that popped out.
He messed it up. Thanos had to have the time stone because nothing in the MCU could do what he did to Vision previously. Mm-hmm. But I do think that he tainted it in some way before giving it up, and that's what destroys...
Could he have set like a time bomb kind of thing with the time stone?
I guess.
I'm theorizing. I don't know.
Well, the thing is that it literally burns out the gauntlet.
Right, the gauntlet itself burns out, yeah.
Yeah.
Gets burnt out.
Which is completely necessary for him to wield the power of the Infinity Stones. Because if he were to try to hold them all in his person, he'd die. He's not that powerful on his own. So if something were going to burn out the time stone, I think that it might have, he may have literally set it to where once Thanos does his snap, then it suddenly advances relative time just for the gauntlet to where it corrodes.
Okay. So all the time stones are still good.
Yeah, well, the time stones will never...
Right.
Yeah, they're fine no matter what.
So what does that do? Eroding just the gauntlet itself?
The gauntlet is his conduit of power to the Infinity Stones themselves, and without it, he could try to wield some of them, but look at Doctor Strange, for example. Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, you know, and he still has to go through a lot to use the time stone. You know, and when you get all 6 stones, you literally become the universe. Like, you are everything, and you have unmitigated power over all. And without the gauntlet to service as a conduit to that, he's cut off from it. He can use them in some ways. I still think the Power Stone might kill him. Like, Peter Quill was the only person to ever use it without and just the one stone without a conduit, and he was able to because he was part of Ego, who was a celestial being.
Right.
So that's key. I also think that Doctor Strange did everything that he did because he saw it happen in a really particular way. He's become a slave to a set of events after seeing them in the one reality where they were able to defeat Thanos.
Okay. So Gauntlet can't be used by Thanos anymore.
Right.
And that's part of the plan. And then, so what do you think gets them? How do they win?
I hope it's Nebula.
Okay.
Because that's how it works out in the comic books, and she's kind of unresolved in all of this.
Right.
But there's also Gamora. He's playing around, like, not playing around with. He keeps visiting this Gamora in the Soul World.
Right.
And this Gamora is childlike.
Yeah, little girl.
And he spent time making sure that Gamora was the deadliest woman in the universe. And I think that part of it may have been manipulating her soul and like putting it into the soul world somehow, although he didn't know where to find it. But she knew where to find it. There's a lot of ways they could retcon. There's a lot of ways they could play with that.
Yeah.
But I think that oh no, Gamora knew where the Soul Stone was. So it's possible in order to harden herself to become the deadliest woman in the universe, in order to kill Thanos, that she gave up her innocence and it was trapped inside the Soul Stone.
Okay.
So Gamora, I think that Gamora is still in there, or at least part of her.
I've heard that theory, that she's just trapped in the Soul Stone.
Part of her.
Yeah.
And that could also be why that everything backfired. It could be the Soul Stone's fault, because he may not have had full control over the Soul Stone, because he didn't make a true sacrifice. Well, he didn't make 100% of the sacrifice. Actually, I would say he probably killed the least necessary parts for that sacrifice. He didn't kill the part that he loved. He didn't kill the innocent. He didn't kill his innocent daughter. He killed the twisted thing that she became.
Right. Okay.
What do you think?
Oh boy. What do I think? I've got pieces. So I think I've toyed with different theories. I mean, it would be interesting if they actually brought in the different dimensions, and actually this is the only dimension where this happens, or maybe it happens. There's endless possibilities.
You mean like the Spider-Man from the video games could like come in?
Yeah, something.
Because they did that in the comics recently.
Oh, did they?
The Spider-Man from the PS4 game is in the comics.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, I think that there could be different dimensions, and that maybe and that's how we.
You mean alternate realities?
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, alternate realities. So if you bring in different heroes from the alternate realities, maybe they come. You get, and I thought this was the perfect solution to the aging actors. If you want to replace an Iron Man, if Robert Downey Jr. is not going to play Iron Man anymore, you replace him with a younger actor from another dimension or another world, another reality.
Okay.
So that's a fix that I thought for a long time was something they could do.
I thought that they were gonna. I think if they were gonna go that way, I'd prefer them to just obliterate the universe and then rebuild it.
Right.
And like things are different.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways they can do that. But I think this one would be good. I think that this one would also. I will be upset because I'm pretty sure that they're not going to bring into it, and we already know that that's a huge possibility.
Here's the thing: Do you know what Adam Warlock's contribution to the actual Infinity Gauntlet
You've
crisis
told me.
was?
I haven't read it yet. I have not read this particular story.
He was this master planner
Yeah.
who like knew the will
Oh, that's right.
of
You just told him.
Thanos.
Didn't you tell him the Silver Surfer just to do something?
He said he was in charge of telling the Silver Surfer when to charge Thanos. And he still missed.
Oh boy.
It was actually Nebula at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'd been torturing Nebula for months at this point, and she was like this battered. She was given every disease in the multiverse, but
Oh shit.
yeah, and Thanos also would not allow her to die.
Jesus.
That's how he was torturing her. And then when he had control of the Infinity Gauntlet, he became this ephemeral being. This godlike creature that existed everywhere and nowhere at the same time, but his meat body still exists. And Nebula just kind of crawled to it and took the gauntlet off and put it on.
Okay. So, like I said, time could be. I think they've been hinting that time could be a part of it. For one, obviously, with Doctor Strange.
Well, he literally says this is the end game in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like everything's based on what he did.
Right. So I think they're going to be messing with time. I think that's going to be part of it. And I think that when we see the Captain Marvel, I think that something's going to happen with her in they're set in the 90s, aren't they, or 80s? I forget.
I think it's the straight up 70s.
Okay. I don't think it's that far back.
No?
I think it's 80s or 90s. Because I think she even crash lands in like a blockbuster or something.
This is when Nick Fury is a 30-something.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
I don't know how old they're saying Nick Fury is.
Right.
But Sam Jackson is rounding 70.
Because I think she's going to play a big part. I think that they're going to get her to either move her into the present day, or they're starting to mess with time somehow. And I also think that they're hinting at us when at the end of the second Ant-Man movie that I think the quantum realm or whatever is going to play a big part.
Yeah, that's one thing I've heard, that the quantum realm has civilizations in it, and they can use teeny tiny lasers to fight the Thanos. I think that a big part of this is going to be a race for the next gauntlet, or whatever the next thing that holds all of them will be.
Yeah.
Because when Adam Warlock, and that's the thing, is that they still might do Adam Warlock in this, and they're actually doing a good job of keeping it a secret.
That'd be crazy.
Because no, I'm sorry, Adam did have the gauntlet.
Yeah.
But you know what? It would be a very creative solution.
Is that when he got it? Is it after the Infinity War that he forms the Infinity Watch?
Yes. Because he then he was reality for a while, and then it was Doctor Strange who convinced him to give up this power because it was starting to drive him absolutely insane.
He has a habit of that.
Yeah, and so he created the Infinity Watch, where he endowed these really random characters, by the way.
Doesn't Thanos become a part of it?
He's the secret member of the Infinity Watch, the one who holds the Reality Stone, because he's the only one smart enough to recognize that you should never use the Reality Stone unless in concert with the other stones. Because the other ones, that essentially became their power.
Right.
They all had Infinity Stones, and so they were zipping around doing Infinity stuff, except for Reality. Mostly because it's probably the most difficult one to write.
Right. So anyway, I don't have a lot of concrete theories. My favorite one.
What I was gonna say. They're setting up Adam Warlock to be a perfect being.
Yeah.
And they're also making him like literally shimmering gold, like the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So his body becoming a receptacle for this is like the perfect thing.
Yeah, absolutely. They've set that up well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite theory is the one where everything that's been going on is just a dream.
A Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
Why?
And they'll rebrand it and they'll just call it Super Mario. This whole time you were watching Super Mario, you didn't even...
For your hell.
For your hell.
Okay, is there a new trailer? I saw up on your desktop you have...
The picture?
Watch the emotional trailer for Avengers. Is there something I don't know?
No, that was just me doing an image search
Oh.
for in-game stuff.
My most important prediction is that Hawkeye will return, and it's not going to make a difference.
I hope.
Like
I hope it doesn't matter because it's not. He's not important to anybody except for that guy because he gets paid so much fucking money.
Okay.
Sorry.
Captain America was not important in the comics.
I know.
For this thing, and he's not important in the movies either.
He was only important. I think his biggest role in the comics ever was Civil War.
Yeah,
That's been his biggest role so far, and I think that's what kind of kickstarted it. But then also you have.
Well,
the guy playing him is also a big actor, so you have to make it more important than it really is.
For it to come back to the characters that we know and love, we'd have to do things like essentially the Avengers would become the Infinity Watch, and so like they can't use the Infinity Stones, but Steve Rogers is so perfect and altruistic that he can use the Soul Stone, and Tony Stark is so smart that he can use the Mind Stone, and Hawkeye is so useless that he can use the Whetstone. he can use the Rosetta Stone.
He's sharpening his arrows.
So that bare minimum he'll know another language and contribute just a little bit.
That was the key. He understands him. Oh my gosh.
He speaks simplified Mandarin.
It would be so great. One of my hopes, my biggest hopes that'll probably never come true, and I've been more crystallizing it lately, is I hope that this whole movie is going to be the disassembling of the MCU as we know it, and I would love it. I think it'd be good for the industry, and I think it'd be good just for superhero movies if they kind of rebooted, they kind of reset, and we actually got, maybe a good Daredevil movie. Maybe we get some hyper localized superheroes, and we tell really gripping, really good stories on a local level, and then we build those superheroes up to, again, take another 10 years to build them up into something that's like a bigger team, like a maybe we get a Squirrel Girl movie. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No chance in hell.
I know.
That's just leaving cash on the table.
I know it is.
You will not die with a bang, it will die with a whimper.
I know.
As people,
we have to get tired of them like we did Westerns.
I am already tired of it.
Yeah, but you are not everybody.
I know.
They're going to sell tickets. China's going to keep buying tickets.
The thing is that
the international market's where it's at.
The thing is, I didn't even get tired of it. The movies got worse. The movies have continued to get worse.
Or they stayed the same, and that's the problem.
No, they kept getting worse.
Because I remember that aha moment when Doctor Strange came out. I was like, they've perfected this origin story movie, and I've seen the same thing 6 times.
Yes.
And they did the same thing over and over and over.
And then they
nothing will be the original Iron Man movie.
They hazarded a direct sequel, which was Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was bad.
I wouldn't call it good, but I wouldn't call it bad either. But that's the problem too. You don't want your big giant budget superhero movies to be all right.
Yeah. You don't want to be pumping out Michelle Pfeiffer money.
Right.
For well, actually, that's exactly what they did. They pumped out Michelle Pfeiffer money for the B team.
It's bothering me. You got a little hair right there.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So you want a Daredevil movie?
I would like a good Daredevil movie. I think that what they did with the Netflix stuff was good.
Have you seen it all?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god!
I was actually telling them earlier before you got here on the stream, not the video proper, but I stopped watching that stuff because I just kind of got sick of it. Because part of my thing with those is that those were all way too long. 10, 12 episodes is way too much for an hour an episode.
I will agree to that point. But season 3 is worth it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw all of the Defenders.
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
Okay.
We talked about this a while back.
Or if you saw all season 2 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Daredevil.
So you're ready to go.
Yeah, I did not watch Luke Cage. I think I got through 1.5 episodes of Luke Cage, and I did not watch
6 episodes of Luke Cage.
I did not watch. I watched 10 minutes of the first episode of the second season of Iron Fist.
Okay. I didn't watch any of the second season of Jessica Jones, even though I really liked Jessica Jones.
I did, and I'm glad I did, but they lost their way a little bit.
What did they do?
It's just it goes in a direction you don't really want it.
Do they bring in the blonde girl from Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23?
No.
And like they literally just pick up where they left
That'd
off,
be funny.
collecting all the plot threads that everybody's been on the edge of their seat, trying to figure out, do they get their deposit back?
No.
I haven't watched that show. I know apartment things.
That's that was a good leap. But no, they spend too much time on her backstory, and I really don't care about her backstory.
Oh yeah, that's a mistake because
Yeah.
her backstory is like it's
I'll just tell you because it happens fairly. I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it. But it happens fairly early. Is that it's all about her mother.
No. Wrong. False.
Yeah.
No, it's just that like it's supposed to be funny. Well, what it is she's the retcon character.
Mhm.
She's the character that was
Not to show her in her gym. It's gym, right?
Yes, she's wearing like a scuba suit or like something.
Something like that, but
Yeah.
you don't actually see the actual costume, and I would love not even a flashback. Maybe they get drunk and like with her sister,
Mm-hmm.
her adopted sister,
Yeah.
and then maybe they're like, hey, put on the old costume, and they get drunk and put it on. Like that would be funny.
A Halloween thing,
Yeah,
I think would be.
it'd be funny.
Yeah.
It'd be funny.
No, it'd be good.
You know.
Are you doing Lino?
No, I'm not. Not on purpose.
Wow. Do you have a hard line on Lino?
What?
A hard line in the sand for Lino impressions?
That's my limit. I do not cross that line.
My father did Lino impersonations.
We don't talk anymore.
He died putting nose putty on his chin. His family never recovered. Okay. So, Johnny,
Yeah.
are there any last threads that we need to exploit before we shuffle off this mortal coil? Possibly play some live video games. We may.
We may.
Yeah.
We might.
Yeah. Well, it's possible.
Do it for the stream. Do it for those guys.
We should play some of the things that we've been talking about playing.
The list keeps growing.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Excuse me.
Did anybody talk to us? We should probably in the segment.
Oh, I didn't tell you what Matt said.
What did Matt say?
Matt said, just reading the synopsis, replicas look like Pet Sematary versus the Butterfly Effect. I may be way off base.
Matthew,
And I told him, go ahead, you can respond.
Matthew, I have never seen either of those movies.
Well, the new Pet Sematary is coming out.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait until they make it weird and put in a montage from The Cure.
Actually, to be honest, it does look good.
6 different ways I clean up the monster blood.
I told him he was not quite right, but he's not too far off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how would you respond to that if you were going to pick out a Butterfly Effect Ashton Kutcher moment from Replicas? What would you say?
It's not so much Butterfly Effect, but I get the
The
feeling.
number 23.
The number 23. I love that movie. That movie's good.
I think it's time to end
That movie
on that note.
did not get the proper praise. Was Jim Carrey doing?
It did. It got a 23 out of 100.
We need to end this episode.
So what you're gonna say to Matt is simply no.
I already told him. I said he's not quite. But you want me to give you like a specific example?
How is it number 23 like? No, that was my idea.
Yeah.
How is it Pet Sematary is the reincarnation?
Yeah, so like they're bringing back people that are supposed to be dead.
Okay,
that's
so,
the part of
so what
Pet
about,
Sematary.
What about the fatalism?
Okay, so it's just you get the. This is not a good question for me right now because I'm having trouble remembering the movie that well.
I've been getting some dark omens, and I'm starting to realize my own destiny, and so a little triggered.
Yeah, I'm a little triggered. It's also been it's been a long time since I've seen the Butterfly Effect.
Ashton Kutcher finds
it's like a time travel movie.
He learns how to edit his future, and the echoes.
And so that's kind of there's echoes of that in Replicas because he's trying to manipulate reality you know, he's trying to play God a little bit and actually manipulate the reality of the situation.
Okay.
It's close enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Sorry,
Always glad to talk to a fan of the show, and I'm glad to talk to you, America. And on that note,
I hurt my shoulder.
You hurt your shoulder doing this?
No, it hurt already.
Good night, everybody.
Oh man,
Okay.
work from home.
I
roll out of bed and I do have a meeting tomorrow, but it's like I hop on a headset.
You don't even put on a shirt?
Sometimes. It's not a video call. It's just audio.
I still imagine that every day you have to do like 7 to 8 hours of work.
Roughly.
I probably shouldn't make you admit how you slack off. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo and Orchard